Oh, love heals us all. Love heals, hey, hey, hey. Love heals us all. I've seen hearts break in silence.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. As you know, well, I don't know, you know, I'm Candace Owens. I am Candace R. Owens, founder of Poetry Pioneer, and I work with Bruce in Art So Wonderful, and thank you for joining us today. Bruce should be, maybe, or we don't know. If he's here, he'll join us. If not, we're going to keep going. So thankfully, I've worked with Bruce long enough. We have that kind of partnership. So I'm going to pass it. We have a guest here today, and I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself. And if you've watched our show, then you've probably seen her on here before. Her name is Amy Kennedy, and I will pass it over to you to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. This is Amy Kennedy. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I actually recently relocated to Matthews, which is right outside of Charlotte. So I have been writing in some form or another since I was 17 years old, so a little over 30 years now. But I recently, about a year ago, decided I wanted to start publishing my writing for the world to see and kind of share my story and my experiences and maybe reach out to people who are going through similar things so that they don't feel alone. I had the honor of being selected as the winner of last year's poetry contest through Poetry Pioneer. I submitted my poem piece. It's been a year. I don't remember the name of it right now, but the whole topic was basically peace and tranquility and what have you. And I won an international poetry contest, which was the first time I'd ever won anything like that. And it did wonders for my self-esteem. It allowed me to continue writing 2 more books after that. And just things have just blossomed and flourished from there. So this project, especially, I hold near and dear to my heart because I do believe that we are all like candles. We all illuminate our own light. And when we band that light together, we can do the impossible. So, there's a lot of back and forth about AI and technology and where that fits, and I'm kind of on the fence about it. I believe in creativity. I don't believe in taking other people's work by any means. But the really cool thing about this day and age is that technology can really band us together. We are able to reach people across the world. We are able to, do things that maybe 10, 15 years ago we weren't able to do. So with that said, it has been an honor working with Bruce and Candace. They are both lovely people. They stand behind really good organizations. If you have a chance, check out Poetry Pioneer and Art So Wonderful. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And with that said, we can just, I guess, jump right into the book with whatever Candace wants to go over next.
All right, so I'm just going to start out by holding it up. So, of course, I have graphics, but I've tested this before. So here's a copy of it. I'm getting ready to mail these out so you can get your copy, and then I'm going to mail one to Bruce and then a couple others. And so this has been, it was a pretty long project, I feel like. We had the contest, which we did on this network. We had people enter. We went through the whole process. And this was a different kind of contest because we actually published from it. So we went through and Amy was kind enough to help edit it. Bruce submitted a chapter in it. It's been a very, very, as she said, we all have candles. And I think in this book, there's several, 7 different voices, one mission. All of our mission was to share our light. And so you'll hear perspectives. We have people from the Philippines and from India, and you're from North Carolina, Bruce is from Vermont, I'm from Kentucky. Like, it's just, and that's technology. If it wasn't for technology, we would have never been able to initiate the contest, to market it on social media, to connect me and Bruce across states. I mean, I've never met in person, but we have built so much and continue to build, and that's how light travels. It doesn't have to be physical. It can be connecting. And so we've connected with Amy, and she's been a huge part of this project. She also had a chapter in it. So we're excited for the way it's going to go. It's ranking really good on Amazon. I entered it into a local bookstore. They had an event coming up and it was selected. So I'm going to be there July 25th doing signings. And I'm going to, of course, have something representing each person that participated, because I couldn't have done this project without each and every one of the participants. Poetry Pioneer, if I could cry now, I would, in gratitude, because I literally at one point remember being on my deathbed and not knowing what my life would hold and why I was here. And I just started sharing my poems with the world, kind of like every other writer or artist, and I'm like, well, if they like it, they like it. If not, I'm doing it for me. Um, and then I wanted to help other people, right? Because I'm like, oh, I can help other people. And that's how this all started, is because, as you said, Amy, your confidence, you get your confidence up. All it takes is one thing, and like Bruce gave me a chance, and then I keep going, and Art's So Wonderful, and just all these different people. And so I encourage you, and we'll put the link in the description, and I will read just a small piece of the intro here. I don't want to take too long because we have limited time, but just a small part of the introduction, because I feel like this is a big part of the book. And so the introductions, the white light we create. Humanity has always sought ways to connect, heal, and make sense of life through creativity. Long before modern technology, people gathered around stories, songs, poetry, and art to express love, grief, hope, fear, faith, joy, and the deep emotions that make us human. Creativity has always helped people survive in difficult seasons. It's given us a voice to the unheard, comfort to the hurting, and light to those walking through darkness. Even now, in a rapidly changing world filled with constant noise, pressure, distraction, and division, that truth remains. People are still searching for connections. They are searching for hope. They are searching for something real. At that same time, we're living through an extraordinary moment in history where technology allows creativity to travel farther than ever before. A poem written quietly in one corner of the world can now reach another side of the planet within seconds. Writers and artists who have never crossed paths before can now collaborate through shared emotion, imagination, and purpose. This realization is one of the deepest inspirations behind Poetry Pioneer and this anthology. That's just a brief intro there, just so you kind of understand, that I don't want to go too deep because you can read more into it, but I encourage you, if you have something you want to say, create, write a book, do something, go to a library, talk to someone, talk to another author. Amy, you've taught me a lot. I'm sure we learned from each other.
Sure have.
But that's kind of what I wanted to just go over with the book. So I'm going to pass it over back to Amy to let her say anything she wants to say, and discuss any upcoming things you may have going on.
So I had a little bit of a brain issue before. The name of my poem that I did last year was Where the Wild Things, Where the Wild Things Grow. Yes. Where the Quiet Things Grow. I have a book also called Where the Wildflowers Grow. Apparently I like growing, blooming type things. I'm a nature person, so that's where that comes from. So since winning the contest last year, a lot has changed for me. I was able to put out my full poetry book, Where the Wildflowers Grow, which is out on Amazon. I also have had the honor of having it at a local bookstore here in Charlotte where I live. It's on consignment. I've been with them for about 4 or 5 months. And 2 weekends ago, I had my first book signing, which was really amazing. And just real quick, I had 2 experiences during the book signing that I want to share with people because it really tells the story of how one person or one event can really change and make an impact. So the first was I had a young teenager. She came up and she's actually interested in writing a poetry book herself. And so she kind of asked me about Amazon and KDP, and I won't bore you guys with the details, but we just kind of chat about that a little bit. And I just gave her some tips and some advice. And when she walked away, I got really teary-eyed because it reminded me of being that teenage girl once that was writing in her journals and her diaries, hoping, maybe one day, by the grace of God and by my own will, that I would publish a book. And now I'm sitting and I've published 3. So, that's like a full circle moment. And then the other was a lovely family came up, and they are a mom and a dad, and they had 2 little girls with them. I want to say maybe like the oldest was like 8 or 9, and then they had like a 5-year-old. And so the littlest one, she came and she was looking at the book, and they were already going to buy it. They said they really like poetry, the mom, but she picked it up and she said, Amy, she looked at my name on there. She said, what is your book about? And my book is, I'm not going to say it's inappropriate for children, but it does go through a lot of deep things. And so I was trying to figure out how I could word it for a 5-year-old for them to understand. And I said, it's about life. It's about the good parts of life, the bad parts of life, all the in between, but mostly it's about hope. And she kind of giggled to herself and she said, I really like life. And I said, that's pretty profound for 5, right? I said, you know what? I really like life too. And so we had like a little laugh, and she came over and gave me a hug. And it was just like so, so sweet, and they bought a book. And then, it was just, it's like a ripple effect, so much of what we do as writers is behind closed doors, right? We spend so much time writing, editing, trying to figure out what we want to put on social media, like how we want to present ourselves to the world. And a lot of that is done in solitude. And so when you have an opportunity like this to really collaborate with, not the same thinking, but, similar and vision and values, it's just an awesome experience. So I encourage anyone out there, if you have a dream, no matter how big or how small, look at Candace. I bet she never expected to accomplish so much. And same with Bruce, wherever he may be. He's such a busy man. I'm sure when he was a little boy, he had all these dreams and visions, and then myself, I'm adopted. I'm the first in my family to graduate college. I've had a lot of milestones and doors that have been open for me, and I'm very fortunate. But none of that came without believing in myself and a lot of hard work. So, surround yourself with the right people. That's the biggest thing. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something, even if you're the only one in the room that thinks you can. I know it's really, kind of cheesy and people have heard this, but all you have to get is one person to say yes to you. And for me, Candace and Bruce were those people. They saw something in me that at the time I didn't really quite even see in myself. And it may sound really simple on paper. Yeah, I won this contest and, I was in this book and, but that's huge because you got to think about it. There were how many other people that entered that contest with me, and not saying that they weren't worthy and deserving, but they saw something in my particular piece that spoke to them, and at the end of the day, that's what words do. Words speak to us. Words tell a language that sometimes, it's like, it's to me, it's like a painting, a picture, they say words are worth, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I don't know. Pictures sometimes don't tell you everything. When someone can break something into, so this is what happened to me, this is how I feel, and they put that out there, it's kind of like the Me Too movement in a lot of ways. People start seeing themselves in bits and pieces of our stories. And that is just a beautiful thing. And to be able to hold this book in my hand, something tangible, is just incredible. So I have a world of respect for you and Bruce. I want to thank you a million times over for accepting me into your literary world. I hope this is the beginning of a lifelong friendship and many, many projects to come. And again, to anybody who's out there who's watching this, wherever you're at, if you're in Vermont watching this on the TV station there, hello to my people in North Carolina. If you're in Kentucky, if you're in the Philippines, if you're in China, Russia, England, wherever you're at, no dream is too small. And you can do what you set your mind to. All right, that's it for me.
Okay, you have me crying. So that was amazing, Amy.
Thank you.
And that just lets me know I'm doing what I'm doing, because I have been, as we all have, I feel like, invisible at some point in my life where, I never felt like I was good enough, or I wouldn't even try because I'm, what, I won't win. And they won't I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to keep it. And once you take that step, the doors just open and you find those people that believe in you. And the one thing I believe in right now is that it doesn't have to be hell on earth. We can create our own version of heaven. And to me, that's connecting voices from across the country. We did this at a time when there was a lot of tension and chaos, and it didn't matter. Some of our contestants barely speak English, but they still were like, hey, I want to do this. Can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, like you said, it was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of work, but it has all paid off, because this was more to show myself and the world that good outweighs the bad. So don't listen to what all this stuff is saying, because if you get a copy of these books and you hear these stories, no matter where they're at, how they grew up and what they've been through, there's love, there's light, there's compassion, there's hope. And as long as there's hope, humanity can cope. We'll be fine.
We need to get that on a t-shirt.
As I long have my Poetry Pioneer one on.
We can cope. Oh, see, I love that. Mine says, in a world where you can be, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
Yep, in a
no.
world where you can be anything, be kind. It's
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss.
This one, I have them made. I'm going to take them to the book thing with me. They say, if the world seems dark, be the light. And on the back,
Oh,
I have
that's
Poetry
beautiful. I
Pioneer.
love that. I love that.
So, you know, but as I continue to do this, that's my mission, is I can't help, you know, a lot of these authors that, you know, either whether we're from America or not, their whole dream was just to let their voices be heard. And you know, and in a lot of the pages that the authors literally said they were scared, but they took a step, and they took confidence, you know. And then we have some people that are super confident. They'll go and they'll just read on any stage, and they're, you know, and Amy, you doing the book signing, I'm so nervous about this upcoming, you know, book signing, because I don't know, never done it. It's going to have up to 15 authors. I'm like, but
You got it.
it'll be
You
worth
got
out.
this.
Right?
You
The
got
words
it.
will come, just like when we write, the words come, the words will come when I'm there. And I hope that I can connect to, and I hate that Bruce isn't here because he is in this book and he has a section. So he is a huge part of this, because without his network, I could have, you know, and I don't even want to say his network, without, he believed in me, you know, and he
The
had the first
support has meant
conversation with
everything
me.
to us.
He said, so what's your dream? And I said, I want to publish a book. Since I've met him, I've published 3 books. You know, this is the 3rd one. I don't know how many contests. The YouTube channel I have is almost up to 50,000 subscribers. I've got
Oh
over.
yeah, and I want to give a shout out to her YouTube channel, please. If you haven't been on, please go on Candace's YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel too. I'll
Yes.
put that in somewhere at the end. But her music, guys, yes, it's AI driven. I don't give a rat's butt, okay? Because it's amazing. Her messages of hope and love, that is what this world needs now more than anything. Here in the States, we are in a country that is divided more than it's ever been. Let the love and the light shine and say no to the hate, because at the end of the day, like she said, there's still a lot of really good people in the world.
Yeah. And words create reality. And what we choose to consume, what we think, what we speak, you know, and let the negative thoughts come, but overcome them with powerful. There may be something inside you that says, no, I can't, but let something else say, yes, I can. And so that's my message, is just thank you for everyone for supporting, and please believe in yourself. Like she said, I don't care if you're in a dark corner where you have nothing that you can look for, and you'll find it's okay. Just keep going. Just get up, go do something, go outside. If it's raining, go for a walk in the court. Just get up and get moving. Don't sit there. And every step you take, it will take you further. And eventually dreams come true. And it starts with a small action. So our time's closing up. I'm going to give you a chance to say anything you want to close. Again, shout out to Bruce Wilson at Art So Wonderful, even though he couldn't make it today. We got love for you. I'll give it to you, Amy, in case you have anything you want to close with.
The last things I want to say, guys, like I said, just believe in yourself. Keep going. There have been so many times during my journey I just wanted to give up, and I just was like, is this really worth it? And in the end, I can tell you 1000% it's worth it and more. Real quick shout out. You can find me on wordsbyamymichelle.com. That is my website. I have been working my tail off for the last month or so on it. You can find out where I'm going to be, what I'm doing, what my next projects are. And again, thank you, Candace, so very much. Bruce, we know you're a busy man, but you are a very, very important part of this project. And Candace and I both thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being there for us. So I hope you all have a wonderful day.
All right. And you can find out more information about Amy on her website, and you can check out anything you want to know about Poetry Pioneer at www.poetrypioneer.com. I've got links to the YouTube channels, the other books. Once I get details about the event, the events, I'm getting tongue-tied. Whenever I get the promotional content, I'll share the event stuff in case you're near Kentucky or you decide to come. We will be there. And I will try to take pictures and share and represent everyone as best as I can. You know, since there's multiple voices in here. But thank you, everyone. And we're going to end it with what says on my shirt: if the world seems dark, be the light. And so may you all have a blessed day. And if you have any show ideals, or you have any ideals that you want us to help with, you can email me at poetrypioneer2021@gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do. Bye, guys.
In our eyes, we been quiet, we've been still, trying just to fit the mold. But there's something in our soul that was never meant for control. Every doubt they tried to place, every fear we had to face, turned to strength, turned to light. Now it's time we take our place. I don't need to chase a force, I can feel it in my core. What was hidden now is seen, we're becoming something more. Let it rise, let it rise. Feel the truth, no more disguise. Speak it out, don't think twice. Watch the dark turn